Hi, thank you for joining. My name is Crystal Olivarria, and I'm the CEO and founder of Career Conversationalist. And parents hire me to help their children transition successfully from school to the workforce. And today we're here to continue on with our mini series in regards to finance your kids' college education with $27. And as far as what it is, and today's topic is, let's focus that so you can see it. Are you worried that your family makes too much money to qualify for financial aid? And what this is a lot of times financial aid will have guidelines as far as how much money your family can make and what your family can qualify for. And people think, oh, okay, well, the rules are black and white. And to some extent they are, but there's also many areas of shades of gray. So while yes, if you do look at an income table chart as far as what your family makes for how many people are in it, then that's a little I mean, it's accurate, but it's also not accurate because it has to do with the way the financial formulas are calculated, and not all assets are created equal and are counted as equal. So as far as why is this important, is because a lot of families look at their income and will say, well, based on my income, I make too much money. And they don't think about what assets they have in terms of their savings accounts and maybe shifting things around so it affects the formula and they can qualify for more. So that's why we're here to talk about the importance of understanding the rules of the game so that you can play the game. And that's why financial education of the financial aid process is so important because, again, you come in with these preconceived notions that, oh, financial aid, this is what it is. You qualify or you don't qualify. And it's what you often don't know that can end up costing you a lot of money. And the principles of how it works and what the game is and how it's played. In the beginning, anytime you learn anything new, it might be a little frustrating or daunting or like, am I going to make a mistake? But that's part of the learning curve of when it comes to learning anything new. And if you think of it as a game, it actually makes it fun because you're like, oh, well, I want more money for my family. So what do I have to do to learn the rules? Like, I want to play the game. And then when you play the game, then the more skillful you get, the more you can potentially win. So in this manner, I guess you would say skill level would be more of asking really good questions, being active, making a list of questions so that when you have an opportunity to talk to myself or someone else, that you have your questions, you can make sure that they get answered. Just taking time to sit down and write a list of questions, well, is a tremendous benefit, even if it's what questions should I be asking? I mean, that one question alone is amazing. Like, what is it I haven't thought of? What is it that I need to be aware of? And the difference between an expert and a non-expert is a non-expert will usually just spew the facts. An expert's going to ask you questions about your family situation to find out relevant information because there's so much information out there. They don't want to just verbally vomit all over you and overwhelm you. So an expert will ask you questions to better help you play the game. And you can also think of an expert as a coach. They're there to evaluate your skill level, where you are, and to help you become a better player. So that's why I like that analogy. We're also going to talk about different strategies for different families. And the reason being is not all families have the same types of assets or have their assets all in the same distribution amount. So oftentimes one family might feel like, okay, well, I make more income and therefore I might not qualify for financial aid as much as another family that might have less income, but maybe they have more assets. And it could be for a variety of different reasons. Maybe their income fluctuates year to year. Maybe they made a large purchase, or maybe they changed jobs, or something happened. So there's a lot of reasons why families have different financial situations. And so understanding that your family is different from somebody else's, again, it goes back to understanding the rules of the game, because when you understand the rules of the game, you'll ask better questions because your family is different from other families and you want to have different strategies. So again, it's important to understand the difference between income and assets and how those are evaluated and part of the financial aid process and the calculation. So the other thing I want to talk about is the importance of investing in your family's future in action. So investing in your family's future is a little bit of financial education. I think this is extremely important, especially when you start talking about financial aid. Like it's almost like when they talk about spending pennies on the dollar. Like that's what your financial education is. It's you spending a little bit of money to understand the rules of the game, so you understand how you can money or qualify for more money. So it's interesting because investing is very similar. You're investing in yourself. You're investing so you ask better questions regardless of who you're asking. So, for example, in my situation, my mom was asking her CPA questions. The better questions my mom asked, the better answers the CPA had. And since the CPA isn't a tax strategist and they're not into all that, a lot of times they won't information because it's a liability for them. But if a client comes in asking them questions and they're providing a service, there's a lot of overlap between different industries. It goes back to investing in your financial education so that you know the overall strategies so you can start thinking about, well, what do I need to ask or what is a better question I should be asking? So the cost of inaction is actually a lot more than the cost of action. You're investing in your family's education. Usually you're spending some money out of your pocket just to get that education versus the cost of inaction. People think, oh, well, I'm actually saving money because they're not pulling out their credit card or they're not pulling out cash or they're not writing a check. So many people think that this is less expensive and they'll just go through the process. And what ends up happening is they don't get those fine distinctions. And those little distinctions are what ends up making a huge difference as far as what families could have been awarded. So the cost of inaction in the long run turns out to be very expensive. So I want you to think about that. If you didn't have the understanding of financial aid, what is that going to cost you? Dollars in terms of the amount of awards that you might be missing for your family, but also in terms of your anxiety level, your worry level. It's going to cost you your peace of mind just because you're not really sure what's going to happen. And it's almost like you're rolling the dice to see what you get. You just hope it all works out. And maybe your backup plan is to use financial resources from your retirement or savings or parent loan. And that's inaction. That's not taking action today to get the education you need. And that's why the anxiety and the worry builds up. And so it's almost like a prescription. You can invest in your financial education, and that's like a prescription that'll help you feel better. So that's why I want to ask you, what would your life look like if you did take action? If you did decide to invest in your financial education and learn about the financial aid process? How would you feel knowing that you were taking action and moving forward, and rather than reacting to whatever happened, you're responding by being able to plan so your family can have a brighter future? Would you have more peace of mind knowing that you have more options planning today than just waiting for the clock to run out and asking what options are left? I hope so. That's why I have my special invitation for you. It's in regards to a solution to solve this problem, and it's the 30-day scholarship challenge, which can be found at thescholarshipchallenge.com. That is currently for the low price of $27 at the time of this recording. And I created this because I know your family's busy and you have a lot going on between dinner and the errands and all your responsibilities. So that's why I wanted to make this program easy for you and that you can digest it in 5 minutes a day. It'll explain the financial aid process, what to expect so you understand it. You'll know what kind of questions to ask. And this way you can navigate your family through that maze much more easily. And then it's also designed so that your child spends 10 minutes a day looking through scholarships. So at the end of 30 days, your child will have a list of scholarships that they are qualified for. And that's really what it's about. It's about your child taking action to move forward on their future and you taking action to help your child qualify for more financial aid. And what you're doing is you're bridging that gap of what college costs and how many resources you have, and just making it more and more affordable so it's less scary to make that jump. So that's why I encourage you to enroll at the Scholarship Challenge for $27. And then to encourage you to enroll immediately, there is a bonus. So the bonus is an opportunity to meet with two experts. So one is Dan Everett of College Money Pros, Daniel Hertzberg of Accelerated Educational Solutions. And these gentlemen both have helped lots of families, and they're very good at what they do. Dan, I think it's interesting that he works with families of all income types. However, a lot of parents who are college educated think they make too much money and they don't qualify. And that's why Dan is an excellent resource, because he can help parents overcome that hurdle. Especially the working class, there's a lot of people concerned about there's not that many resources out there for the middle class. And he is one of those resources that provides a lot of education. And because he has worked with so many families, he understands things on a pretty incredible level. So that's why I would encourage you to want to talk to him. And then Daniel Hertzberg specializes in the academic scholarships, and he's worked with some students and has done some amazing things. I personally had the opportunity to work with Daniel a couple times over the years, and I can certainly say that it's been enjoyable to work with him and to see the transformation that he provides for others. And yes, there are a lot of academic scholarships out there that are available. And I think it's important to talk to him because you understand that it's not just yes, no, you make it. There's a sliding scale. And so you want to encourage your child to go upward on the scale so that they can receive the most money. And at this point in time, I'm thinking about having them both as a guest on a webinar, and you can submit your questions early in advance. This will do a couple things. One, it'll show me which questions come up the most frequently from you and other parents. And then this way I can take those frequently asked questions and turn it into a section for the module going forward for other families who will be paying full price. And again, that's why it's $27, is because I want your feedback. I want to improve this course for others. And I'm just offering this bonus as a way to help you, to incentivize you to take action now. So in order to qualify for the bonus, the deadline is going to be in November 12th at 11:59 Pacific Standard Time. So again, I encourage you to sign up. And once again, you can go to the Scholarship Challenge and enroll for $27 at this time. So please take action now and transform your family's ability to pay for college. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to our paths crossing again soon.